What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the Canada Cup. So the Canada Cup is hosted in Victoriaville, Quebec at the Victoriaville Golf Club. It is a standalone event. What I mean by that is that it's not associated with any tours. That being said, the Quebec PGA is hired to help them run the event, but it is not a Quebec PGA event. It is run like most tour events, so the tournament runs Thursday through Sunday, and at the conclusion of play Friday, there is a cut before the weekend. This year, the top 60 and ties continue on to the weekend. Now, you ask, basically, any regular player in Quebec, even a lot of guys from Ontario, and it's pretty much unanimous that this is the best week of the season. It's a very well organized tournament. We are incredibly well received, and the golf course is a ton of fun to play. It is a 6-6-6 layout, so 6 par 5s, 6 par 4s, 6 par 3s. There's some really interesting lines you can take off the tees to kind of shorten up a couple of the par 5s. The defense of the course is the greens. They're practically all elevated with tons of slope. Most of them pitch pretty severely from back to front, and depending on what they do with the pin placement, some of them can be pretty diabolical. So distance control, leaving yourself below the hole to give yourself makeable putts is very important this week. And this tournament usually always comes down to how well can you play the 6 par 5s throughout the week. There are some par 4s that are fairly gettable, a couple that can bite pretty quickly, and there's a couple of tougher par 3s. Now, if you've been watching the channel for a little while, you know that for the last stretch, my golf has been a little inconsistent. The video I posted last week, I played a good round at the Pro-Am in Bromo, so I was feeling good after that. Though I still know that technically my swing really isn't where I want it to be. And it just seems to be that there are days where I can kind of time it, and the days that I don't time it, I end up hitting a few big misses, which prove fairly costly. So I've worked as hard as I can preparing for this event. I actually got up to Victoriaville on the Monday, played 9 holes the Monday night. I played in a Pro-Am on Tuesday. I played a practice round Wednesday morning, and it's been okay. Like, it's not my A game. I guess it's somewhere between my B and C game. But I know at this point in the week, there's really nothing I can do to fix the technical aspects of my game. It's just time to go and do the best you can with the tools you have available. So that's the mindset that I'm taking into the event. I got the Thursday afternoon, Friday morning side of the draw. All that being said, see you for my Thursday tee time.
Alright, so Thursday afternoon. Now, the driving range at the Victoriaville Golf Club has very limited range, 180 yards max. We have access to the driving range at the Laurier Golf Club, where I had played one of the East Coast Pro Tour Provincial Series events. I've already been to the range at this point. Matt drove up on Thursday morning to meet me there, so he was only there to catch some of my putting warm-up. So I'm feeling good this morning. Been a good start to the day, confident, really just eager to get this tournament underway. As I mentioned earlier, this is one that we always look forward to.
Du club de golf Windmill Heights au Québec, James Colin Davis.
And here we go. Starting on the 10th hole on this first round, it is a dogleg left par 4, just over 400 yards. I am hitting driver, and I'm trying to go, see the bunker on the corner, on the left corner. I'm trying to go over the tree, just left of it. Safe line there. It can move either way off of that line. Nice ball right there. Finish the other side of the tree. Happy with that start. This left me 107 yards from the middle of the fairway. I'm hitting a little sand wedge here. Just missed it a little bit, hit a hair behind it. Now, you do not want to go past this flag. Definitely didn't go past the flag. It didn't quite get it to the front edge, however. All things considered, not the worst leave. This left me about 35 feet from the front fringe here. I elected to putt it. Hit a good one, had it on a pretty good line. Just hit a little harder than I wanted to, and going past that flag was going to make my par putt quite tricky. So a bit of a mistake there right off the bat. This putt here left for my par. You can see incredibly quick, and I just underread it. I could not believe that it was going to swing that much for such a short putt. This has actually left me more work now for my bogey. So this is a little unsettling. Hit a really good putt here. Just got a very harsh lip out. And I'm still not in for double. My playing partner offers to go first. Give me a second to compose myself. Thank you, Cougar. I appreciate that. Take my time here. Go through my routine. I clean up for double. That is definitely not the start we were looking for, but there is a lot of golf to be played. The 11th hole is a par 3 today, playing 166 yards. I was hitting a 9-iron here. Now this green slopes severely from like the middle back down to the front, almost like a massive false front all the way. Pin is right at the top of it. Good strike there. Like the look of that swing. Pin's a little on the right. I take it more dead center of the green, pin high. Really, really good shot considering what we just did on the previous hole. Leaves me about 15 feet here for birdie. Pretty good effort. Just thought that was going to start turning a little bit earlier. Finishes right behind the hole, but I will take that to clean up for my par. The 12th hole is a 520-yard par 5. The dog leg is right. Now you can take your drive up over the corner of those trees a little bit, which I do. Another really nice drive there. The swing's feeling pretty good at this point. This left me 206 yards to a back right flag. I am hitting a 6-iron. It's just a little bit into wind. And my quick left miss comes early today, unfortunately. And this was never close to being online. We'll see it taking the cart path and finally finishing in the rough there. I mean, that is not part of the golf course I ever thought I would have to check out. Leaves me this 40-yard pitch from left of the cart path. I'm like long left of the green. The entire green is sloping away from me. This is not an easy golf shot right here. Hit it great. Popped it up, landed it just short on the fringe, let it release down. I'm very happy with that shot from where we were. It gives me a reasonable look at birdie up the hill, about 9 feet here. Not much break in this. Had it, just didn't hit it. That would have been a really nice birdie after the second shot. 13 is a 480-yard par 5. The dog legs severely to the left, so if you're going to hit driver, you've got to go up like kind of through the V that you see in the trees on the left there. So I started on that line. Unfortunately, it just turned a little bit left on me. That's not going to carry all the trouble, unfortunately. It is going to finish in the trees. I didn't have a big window here to get this out, so it was a bit of a nerve-wracking chip out. I think that forced me to just not quite commit to it. I hit it just a hair heavy. That ground was incredibly wet, which I wasn't expecting. So I got it out, and technically I have a swing, but like you can't see my golf ball. I mean, I found like the longest rough on the golf course. I had 9-iron out. I was ready to hit it. I had 160 yards if I can get it on the green. And I'm looking at this line. I'm like, I can't do this. I've just got to hit a lob wedge and just advance it. Yeah, we'll see here. I'm going to take a pretty good rip here with my 60 degree. And I mean, that thing only went about 80, 85 yards. I mean, hitting 9-iron was just never an option. 74 yards left here for my fourth shot, trying to get up and down for par. Clipped it nicely, really nice ball flight. Pretty good shot, all things considered. Fortunately, it did just go just past the flag. That's going to give me a pretty tricky putt. I hit a good putt, again, just overread it. I was convinced that that was going to turn a little earlier than it did. I will clean up for my bogey. I am not making this easy on myself at the moment. The 14th hole is a 438-yard par 4, goes slightly downhill, slightly dog legs to the right. I'm hitting driver. Another good drive here. Really happy with how the ball's coming out. The contact's been very nice. So far, just the one on the previous hole that turned a little bit left on me. This one's just down the right side, finds the first cut of 130 yards to a middle left flag here. So I'm hitting a little gap wedge. Good feeling swing there. Really like the contact. And this thing just never left the flag stick. Just finished a little short of it, but fairly good approach shot there. Happy with that. Got about 16 feet here up the hill. Knew this was going to turn left. Did not expect it to turn as hard left as it did. I think after under-reading a couple of putts, I just overthought that one just a little too much. I'm going to be able to go ahead, though, and tap in for my par. 15 is a par 3 today, playing 206 yards. This is a tough hole. A lot of slope on the green, a lot of trouble around the green. I was hitting 6-iron here. Hit it pretty good. Just a little left of it, which is actually by design. That's going to leave it a little short left of the flag, which is going to give me an uphill putt, which on this hole makes it much easier. But this birdie look here, put a good roll on it. Just kind of turns around, right around the backside of the hole. Feel like I've hit some good putts here, just not managing to match up line and pace. The 16th hole is a 593-yard par 5. There is in-course OB on the right and a hazard that follows the hole all the way down the left side. It's a very tricky, narrow tee shot. I'm trying to hit a little safety peeler here, which I've been doing all week in preparation. This one hit my line and just did not cut, so I actually was under the impression that I'd hit it into the hazard. I got pretty lucky in that my ball actually stayed out. Now, I mean, I don't have a full swing at it or anything, but I don't have to drop. It's sitting well enough that I can at least advance it. So that's a good break right there. So I just took 6-iron. I wasn't even really sure how far I was from the hole here. It didn't really matter. It was just, this is a long hole. Get it as far up there as you can. Punch that out nicely.
Nice out,
Honestly,
man.
came out better than I expected. Put it up just kind of right center of the fairway. Oh, wildlife segment. Got a little groundhog. Scurrying between 16 and 8 there. Oh, and we got a cougar. 180 yards left in for my third shot on this par 5. A little into the wind. Pins kind of like middle frontish left. I am hitting a 7-iron here to get it through the wind. Lighting it down a little bit. Matt's struggling with some allergies. Did a really good job holding on to his cough there. This finishes just in the left fringe, but it's fine. It gives me an uphill look at birdie. So about 18 feet here up the hill. Good roll, tracking, and at the last second just turns left. So another burnt edge. Really at this point just need one of these putts to fall just to get some momentum going here. Tap in for my par. Now, all things considered after the drive, we will take the par. Absolutely not complaining there. 17 is another tough par 3 today, playing 206 yards. Now, I was hitting a little 5-iron here, trying to flight it down through the wind. And that is a huge push. Like, never on line. Actually landed right of the bunker and then fell kind of back into the bunker. Just a terrible, terrible golf shot. So tough shot here out of the bunker. I am on a downslope. Everything on the green is running away from me and turning to the left. It's very hard to get this close, and it didn't feel like there was a ton of sand. I felt like I'd executed quite well there. Felt committed. Didn't look like a decel. There's just way more sand than I expected, so compounding the issue here. Third shot here for par out of the bunker. Felt like a pretty good shot, just really didn't expect it to kick that hard left when it landed. So just got a bit of a longer putt than I wanted for my bogey here. So this to limit the damage. Again, hit a great putt, just never took the break that I saw. So just not really getting away with anything here. Tap in for my double. That puts us 5 over through 8. 18 is a 371-yard par 4 that doglegs hard to the right. Now, I'd been playing driver off this tee all week. I basically just hit a huge slice around the corner, gives you a short wedge in, but because I hadn't really been cutting the ball yet, I decided to lay back with hybrid. Hit a good one, left me 108 yards into this left flag here. Now, lots of slope in this green. It's a little 56 degree that I'm throwing out to the right. I'm going to spin it back to the left.
Sit.
Quality golf shot there. Leaves me a very makeable uphill birdie look here. So this for birdie, get things turned around.
Get it. Oh my god.
Again burns the edge. So just struggling here. I feel like I've hit a number of good shots. I've also hit some bad shots. I'm gonna be honest with myself here. But just cannot get any putts to fall. That 9 could have been very different if the putter was a little hotter. Turning onto the front 9 now, the first hole is a 332-yard par 4 that doglegs to the left. I am hitting 4-iron just kind of over the corner of the bunker there. That's going to give me a simple wedge in. Another good swing there. Good contact. The exact flight I was looking for. Very happy there. 80 yards in to this middle right flag. So hitting a controlled lob wedge. I did throw this a little out to the right. Not that bad, but man, that just took a huge kick. So thought I was going to have a bit more of a makeable birdie putt, but it is what it is. I mean, it's not terrible proximity, but without that bounce, it would have been a little better. This downhill putt turns a little left. I just didn't quite read it properly, and I didn't quite get the pace right, but we will tap in for the par. The second hole is a par 3, slightly downhill, playing 192 yards today. So felt a little downwind, so I went with a big 8-iron. Again, a lot of slope from back to front. You do not want to be above the hole. I knew the 8-iron wasn't going to get past it, so it was going to leave me an uphill putt. It's an uphill putt from distance, but nevertheless easier than the downhill putt, and I just misread that. I knew that that was going to break to the right. I just didn't see it breaking that far right. This left for my par here, I'm able to clean up, and we move on to the third hole. The third hole is a par 5, goes a little uphill, doglegs to the right. Really nice drive here, just a nice high cut over that bunker that you see on the right side of the fairway. That puts me in a great spot to attack. I have 208 yards here. Hit a big 7-iron. Lands just short, skips up onto the fringe. That's a good leave. I hit 7 there just to not bring long into play. Again, pretty diabolical pin position if you go past it. Long eagle look here from the left fringe. And oh
Man.
my, something
Come on.
finally went in. I mean, of all the putts that I've had today, I can't believe that that is the one that finds the hole, but we will take that back to 3 over. The fourth hole is a par 3, 133 yards today. Now, I've been missing left. This pin was on the left, so I aimed a little bit right of it just to be safe, and then just pushed it because I was scared of short-siding myself and missing the green on the left side. That would not have been an easy up and down. Gives me a long putt here for my birdie. Slight misread. Good for pace, though. I'll be able to go ahead and tap in for my par. The fifth hole is another par 5. Now, you might look at my alignment here and be like, where are you going? The fairway is the other way. Well, there's a line up over the trees, which significantly shortens the hole.
That's the line.
Matt didn't know that, so he was freaking out a little bit. It went just through the fairway into the left first cut. I had 177 yards here, slightly downwind. I'm hitting a 9-iron just to bring long out of play. Thought this might fly a little bit. Good swing there, all over the flag. You can see definitely a bit of a flyer, not much stopping power on that. It was just past the flag. It's going to leave me a tough putt. We have another eagle look here. So about 15 feet, little downhill, tons of break.
Get in. Yes.
Finally make another putt. So we've gone 4 under in the last 3 holes. That gets us back to 1 over for the day. The 6th hole is a par 3 today, playing 177 yards, slightly uphill. I'm hitting an 8-iron here. Again, don't want to go past the flag. This lands a little short right, just skips up.
What a kick.
It was a nice kick. It wasn't a bad shot to begin with. That just got it a little closer to the hole. Got about 20 feet here for birdie. Up the hill, turning left. Another good roll.
Oh.
Just needed a little more pace, and it would have held its line. It was a good try. Tough little par 3. This one's tricky, so I'll take the tap-in par there. The 7th hole is a 407-yard par 4. Goes downhill, doglegs to the left. I'm hitting hybrid today, as it was slightly downwind. Just got a little draw over the corner of the bunker. That's going to put me in a great spot to attack this green. Just outside of 100 yards here, I've got my 55-degree out. Hit a really nice shot here, trying to leave this a little below the flag, which I do. Also just slightly right of it. Slightly left of it would have been a bit better, not going to lie. But I've given myself a reasonable look at birdie here. And this putt ended up being much more challenging than I expected. See, just slight overread, but look at this thing just continue to creep past the hole. So I've got a little bit more work left here than I expected for my par. And that thing got away from me really quickly. Really interesting pin position. Tidy up for my par, 1 over with 2 holes to play. The 8th hole is a 574-yard par 5. The dog legs right. I'm trying to hit my little cut, and I double cross it. That goes left. Somewhere into those trees left. That's not ideal. So find the ball. Now I had the option of going kind of straight out sideways, but actually it wasn't straight out. It was kind of backwards, and then there was no chance I could have hit my 3rd on. There was a window above the trees here. I figured if I can open up the face on my lob wedge and just take a full swing, I can get it through there. I should at least have a shot at the green from where that finishes. Got it through the gap. Was very happy with that. And then we'll see this come down and kick so hard to the left. So finishes here. I mean, I've got a swing, but I've got a terrible lie. I've got the ball above my feet. I had about 215 yards. I'm just trying to muscle a 5-iron. Now, with the ball above my feet, I expected that to turn left. It ended up turning right. That was a little unfortunate. If it turned left, it probably finishes just in the fringe, just short. Instead, I have this 55-yard pitch shot to a very diabolical green, which slopes heavily from right to left from my angle. So I throw this up into the air, out to the right. But as we will see, it was nowhere near far enough out to the right. Right, that thing's just gone.
The fuck?
Yeah, man, I hear ya. So this putt from the left fringe to save my par. Really felt like I'd hit this very hard, and as did my playing partners, we'll say here. It worked out fine. Bit of an overread. But, I mean, you know, I'm telling it to stop, and it was close enough that I didn't even have to mark it. Just go ahead and tap in for my bogey. That puts us 2 over on the day. The 9th hole is a 396-yard par 4, dog legs basically 90 degrees to the right. I'm hitting a hybrid little cut over the bunker that you can just see the corner of there. There's a nice shot there. That's going to put me right in the fairway. 130 yards in here to a back left flag. I'm hitting gap wedge. I'm trying to hit it low. I'm trying to take some spin off of it. I'm trying to kind of like land a little short and skip it up. Now I got the flight, I got the skip, I got it to stop on a dime, I just pushed it. So Gives me a bit of a longer putt than I would have liked, but not a terrible shot. Now, another tough putt here. Gotta throw this well out to the right. It's going to turn hard to the left. I just way underread that, but good for pace. Pace control today has been quite good. That leaves me this putt to clean up for par and close out a round of 2 over 74. Interesting day. 5 over on the front. Came back 3 under on the back, but no birdies.
All right, recapping the first round. That was a frustrating day. Obviously, it was not the start I was looking for on my first hole. Hit a really good drive. Yes, I missed the wedge shot, but I left it below the hole. That was smart. And though technically it wasn't a 4-putt because the first one was from off the green, it really felt like a 4-putt. The only positive I could kind of pull from that as I was walking off the hole was I felt like I hit 4 good putts. Too much pace on the first, underread the second, hit a great third putt. It is what it is. I rallied decently after that. I didn't play great. There were a couple of misses in there. Didn't play terribly either. Gave myself some good looks at birdie. Couldn't make any putts. Just couldn't get anything to fall. So we had the double on my first hole, the 10th hole. I made a bit of a mess of 13, the par 5, which is usually very scoreable if you get off the tee, which I didn't. Made bogey there. And then a big miss on the par 3 17th. I mean, that is just a totally unacceptable miss with a 5-iron to be that far offline. Obviously then compounded the issue by leaving my first bunker shot in the bunker. But even after that, got on to 18, hit a great tee shot, hit a great wedge shot, hit a great putt didn't go in. So it was just really hard to get anything going. The eagle on 3 was nice. I mean, it wasn't textbook. I hit a pretty good drive, a pretty average 7-iron, and I made a long putt from the fringe. But to be honest, that was the worst putt I'd hit all day. Just happened to miss it perfectly so that it went in. Not complaining, I really needed a momentum changer at that point, and that did it. And then a couple holes later, I eagled the 5th hole. That time I actually hit a good drive, a good approach, and a good putt, and continued giving myself some birdie looks, couldn't get anything to fall, and then unfortunately I bogeyed the par 5 8th hole after missing my tee shot to the left. The driver was a bit of a head scratcher for me today because I'd been playing really nice cuts all week, and off the top of my head, I think there was only one today that cut, and that was my tee shot on 3. So that just wasn't couldn't lean on that as much as I would have liked. Anyways, finished at 2 over for the day. Obviously not the opening round I was looking for, but I'm not out of this thing. Figure the cut's probably going to be right around even par. So I've just got to go out tomorrow, and I figure anything in the 60s, and I'm playing the weekend guaranteed. I've got an early tee time on Friday morning. I just got to get out there, commit, and do the best I can on every shot. See where things lay at the end of the day.
So it is very early on Thursday morning. Slept well last night. Feeling good here, feeling ready. Just gotta go do my job. I have every intention of playing the weekend. Missing the cut is not really something that has crossed my mind. Now this morning, because of the early start, did not go to the other course. Hey Ben. Did not go to the other course to warm up on their range, so decided just to use the limited range, 180-yard max range at Victoriaville Golf Club. And really the whole purpose is just to get warm. I mean, I'm hitting a 4-iron off the first tee anyway, so it's not like I've got to hit a bunch of wedges and short irons and then step onto the tee and hit a driver. Warm up was all right. Not great, but again, I don't overthink my warm-ups. A lot of the times, bad warm-ups have led to good rounds, and good warm-ups have led to poor rounds. And here we go for round 2 of the Canada Cup. I sit at 2 over par. Figure if I get to 1 under after today, safely playing the weekend, I imagine the cut is going to be right around even par. First hole, 330 yard par 4 going left. I am hitting the same 4-iron that I hit the day before, just aiming at the right corner of that bunker, ready to get the day going. And I hit a massive pull hook straight into the trees to the left. I mean, I am closer to the 13th tee than the first fairway. That really came out of nowhere. Did not expect that whatsoever. Basically have to chip out backwards to avoid that fairway bunker. I've got it back in the fairway. I'm going to try and put this shot up onto the green here. Got 151 yards from the fairway. Hitting a little 9-iron, slightly back into the breeze. Just want to give myself a makeable par putt. And I hit this heavy. It was on a great line, but it barely creeps on to the front of the green. So I've still got a lot of work to do here just to make bogey. Long uphill putt here. About 50 feet. Turned a little left, and I knew it was going to turn right at the end. I thought it was going to go a little harder left early. To be honest, not that bad. Gives me a very makeable bogey putt. Not the start we were looking for. The second hole was playing 201 yards today. I am hitting 7-iron. Again, do not want to go long. Again, hit this heavy. Just not really feeling the swing at this point. It's on a good line again, but on line and heavy doesn't really get it done. Long putt here from the front fringe. Pin was 28 paces on, so that gives you an idea. This is almost a 90-foot putt. Not bad for pace. Kind of tailed a little more right than I expected, but leaves me about 5 feet here for my par. And I completely misread it. Just absolute, complete misread. So I need to be making a move to get back towards even, and I am moving in the wrong direction. Third hole is the par 5. I sky my drive. I don't even know the last time I did that. Just all over the place right now. I mean, it's in the fairway, but that went absolutely nowhere. I have 60 yards more in here than I did the previous day. 268 yards here uphill. I'm hitting hybrid. I'm just trying to get it up by the front edge. I actually hit this one well, but it kind of turned left on me and ended up in the left greenside bunker. So I still have yet to hit a good shot at this point. Now, not an easy bunker shot. Left edge of the bunker here. Got to go up over that mound. It runs away from me once it gets onto the green. And just kind of misjudged the sand. Luckily, it's out of the bunker, but only got it onto the fringe, not even on the putting surface. This here for birdie. Pretty quick with a severe amount of break from left to right. I just never got that high enough. It does leave me an uphill par putt, luckily. And I'm at least able to make par and stop the bleeding. The fourth hole was playing 139 yards today, pin kind of back right. I'm hitting a controlled pitching wedge. Finally hit a good shot here. Good line, good contact. Actually compressed the golf ball. Really needed that. Leaves me a fairly good look at birdie here, going uphill. Just expected this to turn a little more to the right, and it didn't. But good effort. Gave it a good run. Tap in for my par. We are 4 over with 14 holes to go. The fifth hole is the par 5 that you can take that very aggressive line on, so I'm trying to do the same thing I did yesterday. I hit the line, but it just didn't quite launch as high. I mean, that barely cleared the trees. That was close to being disastrous. Anyways, worked out. I'm in the fairway. I have 166 yards into this green. Nice 9-iron here.
Drawing
Just
so
right at the
good.
flag. that is the right place to leave it, as that flag is on the left side of the green. You see the ball there. Very happy with that shot. Now this putt really looked like it was turning right. Uphill eagle look. It definitely didn't go right. It actually went a little left. Good for pace though. Hit my line, hit my pace. Tap in for my birdie. That gets us back to 3 over. The par 3 6th hole was playing 186 yards. You can see the pin tucked on the right side of the green there, right above a little kind of bowl. I'm hitting 7-iron. You can really see the club's just kind of dropping inside. I can't really quite get the ball on my start line. Not a terrible shot. It's pretty good for distance. Just pulled it to the left fringe. This gives me a very long putt here for my birdie from the fringe, and this runs off the green if it gets past the hole at all, so I got to be very careful with pace here.
Go, go, go. Oh my god. What the crap?
I don't know how that didn't go in. Like, that actually lipped out with dying pace. Now, again, not expecting to make that putt, but it's just another one of those putts. Like, if that falls, momentum changes. You know, and it just seemed that the entire week just couldn't get one of those little breaks that I kind of needed. We will take the par, however. The 7th hole was playing slightly into the wind today, so I'd hit hybrid on the first round, 3-wood in the second round. Again, same flight, nice little draw, just over that bunker. Really nice kick forward and left as well. It's got me a little further down the fairway, left me about 81 yards in here. Controlled lob wedge. Very happy with how this shot looked. Just took a huge bounce forward. Yeah, that's going to make the putt a lot trickier. I mean, the proximity is good, but because I'm above the hole, I'm just not going to be able to get aggressive with it. This is that birdie look. Downhill, breaking a little to the left. And it just turned ever so slightly more than I expected it to. Really unfortunate that I put that above the hole. Tap in for my par, still 3 over with 11 holes to play. The 8th hole, the dogleg right, 575 yard par 5. Much better drive here in the second round. Right down the middle of the fairway. Now we'll see when this lands. Unfortunately, it's going to kick to the left. If that was a few yards to the right, it would have kind of stayed up on that shelf, shortened my shot in. Now I had 294 yards in here. Going uphill, I'm giving it a rip. This was a fantastic golf shot. Never left the flagstick. Lands right on line with it. Runs up towards the flag.
Great job, man.
Green unfortunately catches that slope that we dealt with the day before. Not going to complain. We've given ourselves an eagle look here. Just outside of 20 feet, going uphill, turning to the right. Just didn't turn quite as much as I expected, but on such a long hole, just happy to have that eagle chance. And then the ability to tap in for a very simple birdie, 2 over par. On 9, I'm trying to hit the same cut hybrid that I had hit on day 1. Unfortunately, I just did not cut it. Didn't double cross it, just dreaded straight ball, basically. It just goes right through the fairway, and I'm just praying that it's either short of or past that tree. Luckily, it was just past the tree. I had, not a great shot, but I had a shot. 130 yards in here, and I'm hitting gap wedge, just trying to hit it out to the right towards the front of the green. I couldn't really go for the flag because of the next tree in front of me. Now Matt didn't quite get the ball in frame, but he will at some point. There it is. Not a bad leave. So, putting up the hill from the fringe, about a 39-40 foot putt here. Lots of break from right to left. Really good for pace. Pretty good effort from where I was. And considering we almost didn't have a shot into the green, again, pretty happy that I can just kind of get up there and avoid my playing partner's line and tap in for my par. Making the turn onto the back 9. Now I am still 2 over. I figure I have to play this side 3 under to safely play the weekend. Very doable. No panic at this point. I've got some scoreable holes up ahead of me here. Good drive here on 10. This left me 80 yards to this middle right flag. I've got lob wedge, and this thing just came out really funny. Like, got a flyer from the fairway. And that was unexpected, to say the least. And yeah, a little bit of an emotional reaction. So long downhill birdie putt here from the back of the green. Be very careful with this one. It is sliding to the right the whole way.
Get in. Oh my god!
Another slow lip out. Just need one of these to fall.
Kidding me?
I
Are
mean,
you
again, these are
kidding me?
not makeable putts, but I just don't feel like I'm asking for that much. On to 11, playing 147 yards today. Cannot go past this flag, so I'm hitting a pitch and wedge. I'm trying to flight it down so that I can kind of skip it in. I hit it just a little thin, so it skipped past the hole, which was unfortunate. It was decent execution. I mean, it was a bit of a miss, but just look at where I have to aim this putt. I mean, I almost have my back to the hole here. It's got just an incredible amount of break on it, and it still runs well past the hole. Luckily, I have left myself a fairly straight uphill par putt. I'm able to make that. That keeps us at 2 over. The fight continues. So 12 and 13, I have back-to-back par 5s, very scoreable holes. Need to make a move. Hit a great drive here. Up over the corner of the tree is just a little bit of a fade on it. Exactly what I was looking for. Apparently I don't know the line off the tee because I thought I was going to be in the middle of the fairway and I was almost in the fairway bunker. So in the rough, not a great lie, but decent. 207 yards in. I'm hitting 6-iron like I did the day before. Felt like a pretty good swing, just came out a little left. And takes a massive kick to the
You're
left.
kidding me, man.
And literally ends up in the same spot I had been in the day before. So, listen, you gotta laugh about it. I don't know, I didn't expect to be there once, let alone twice. Upon further inspection, I hit the rake. And that's why it took the big kick. It was the couple of spectators who were down by the green who informed me of that. So, hey, we've been here before. Unfortunately, I had a horrendous lie this time. Just not able to commit. Leave it short. Now, but lie looks good here, but the grass was a little weird around it, and again, couldn't commit. So I am chipping for par, and I'm just rattled at this point. Absolutely rattled. I have this putt here for my bogey. Thankfully,
Great putt,
I make
James.
a bogey putt and limit the damage, but I am moving in the wrong direction on what is an easy hole. 13, the dogleg left, par 5. I'm hitting driver. Now, the day before, I'd gone too far left. Now, I thought this drive was absolutely perfect. I could not have hit it better. It was on my line. It went right through the fairway into the trees. So, very big head scratcher for me there. No choice here but to just advance it out with a lob wedge. Gives me 102 yards, slightly uphill to this front left-ish flag. That was a lob wedge. Pushed it just a little bit out to the right. Good distance control, good spin control. But, you know, not exactly the proximity that I need right now. But I do have a look uphill, turning a little bit right to left. Again, just a slight overread. So I do not take advantage of the back-to-back par 5s. In fact, I moved further away from the goal. We are 3 over par. 14 is the 440-yard slight dogleg right par 4. I'm trying to hit just kind of like a low cut, and I kind of double-crossed it and hit a little off the toe. So this goes left into those trees. Now, I never saw it, but luckily my playing partner had told me it was fine. And luckily, when we get up there, I have a window. I mean, this is not ideal, but at least I can get it out and up towards the green. That was a punched 5-iron from 174 yards, and judged it really well.
Yeah, nicely done,
Get
James.
that up onto the green. Great from there, but in this situation, I need to be giving myself some birdie looks here. So, long putt here for birdie. Uphill, expecting it to turn to the right. Does turn a little bit, but not nearly as much as I expected. Leaves me a little bit of work for my par, but I'm able to clean that up and move on. So 15, 16, and 17 is like the amen corner on this golf course. 3 very difficult golf holes. I have 209 yards here, hitting a 6-iron, and I need birdies. This is not the stretch of the golf course that you want to be on when you need birdies, but I don't have a choice at this point. It's a fairly decent shot, just pulled it a little bit, but I've left myself an uphill putt. So uphill putt with a lot of break, tons of break. Just didn't quite get it high enough. Now Matt did not record my par putt here, but I did make it. Now we are 3 over par. We have 3 holes to play. Figure even might get us to the weekend. 1 under definitely will. So we're running out of time here. 16 par 5. Trying to hit the same cut I did the day before. I did hit the cut, but I kind of saved it last minute. You can see me let go of the club, but good drive, finished very nicely. Now, I have got to get aggressive here, so I'm trying to hit a big peeling 3-wood around the corner. Got to get this up by the green, give myself a chance here, and hit my start line and did not move an inch. My playing partner saw it bounce, but I knew there was no chance that stayed in. That did go into the hazard. That's essentially at this point, it's basically tournament over unless I hole this. 55 yards. It's a good shot. You know, got it up onto that top shelf. Decent proximity. This putt here to clean up for my par and hit a good putt. Saw it breaking a little more than it did. Clean up for my bogey. We're now 4 over with 2 holes to play. So you can see me here throwing up some grass. Just not really sure what's going on with the wind. Just kind of moving all over the place. At 219 yards today on 17 to a back flag. And with all of not knowing what the wind was going on, where I was in the tournament, I just absolutely do not commit to the swing and hit about ½ an inch behind it. Just a very poor effort. That drops it into the front left bunker. Now this left me a 38-yard bunker shot with a fairly large lip to get over. Basically going to take a 60-degree and essentially just take a full swing and slap the sand and hope that it gets up there. And to be honest, it was a pretty good golf shot. Didn't get it all the way back to the flag, but I was pretty happy with that effort. Gives me this 15-footer here for par. And just a slight underread and didn't quite give it enough pace. So, fortunately, that's another bogey. That puts us at 5 over for the tournament. So on 18, unlike the day before, at this point, I'm like, you know what? Let's just hit driver. Let's have some fun. If it doesn't cut, it doesn't cut. And this thing cut a lot. I actually felt like I maybe hit it too far right, which I didn't really think was a possibility on this hole. Ended up working out fine. Just in the rough, just missed the fairway to the right. 56 yards here into the green. A lot of slope in this green. We saw this the day before, so I fly this out to the right and let the slope of the green just kind of take this back around to the left, work its way down to the hole. It's a nice golf shot. Very nice.
Great shot, James.
Even got a little round of applause from the spectators on the balcony. So this 2.5 footer here for birdie. No gimme. Had to start it outside of the hole. It was just nothing was going to be easy, but it's a nice finish. It's a good birdie to finish up the round. But that's it for me. My week's over. Just couldn't get it done. Too many misses with the ball striking and not enough putts made on the greens.
Yeah, the last 2 days were tough. Felt all right going into the second round, I mean, I was convinced that I was playing the weekend. The thought of missing the cut had honestly not crossed my mind. And then I got on to the first tee, which is a fairly simple dogleg left par 4, and I'm hitting a 4-iron, and I legitimately hit what I think is the worst golf shot I've hit in my professional career. I mean, that just came out of nowhere, and it really shook me. I gotta be honest, that was not what I needed for confidence to get the day going. Bogeyed 1, bogeyed 2, 3 is a very scoreable par 5, didn't hit a good drive, didn't hit a great second shot, didn't hit a great bunker shot, made par to stop the bleeding, but I played 3 holes and I had yet to hit anything close to a solid golf shot. Finally hit a solid shot on the par 3 4th hole, and then things started getting going a little bit better from there. 2-putt birdie on 5, a few other looks, 2-putt birdie on 8 after hitting a really great 3-wood into that hole from about 300 yards. And that's what's been so damn frustrating about my game recently, is that within a couple of hours I can hit the tee shot I hit on 1, and then I can hit the second shot that I hit on 8. The second shot on 8 was a significantly harder golf shot than the tee shot on 1. And it's frustrating to know that I can hit all of these shots. I just can't seem to do it with any kind of consistency right now because of some technical flaws in my swing. And as I make the turn at even par for the day, so, I'm still thinking, all right, 3 under on the back 9, no problem, let's get this going. Good tee shot on 10. Weird wedge shot, really felt like I got a flyer from the fairway. Great putt that's a slow lip out, doesn't go in. That really would have helped the momentum. Par 11, which is a tricky par 3 because of that green. And then I hit what I thought was a perfect tee shot on 12, which ended up being in the right rough by the bunker. So apparently I'm not sure what the line is on that tee, even though I've been playing this course at this event for years. Not the worst miss I've ever hit from that lie. Going into the green in 2, hit the rake. So, right when I feel like I need something to go my way, something like that happens. Obviously very unfortunate at any time, but for me that was very, very poor timing. Get on to 13, hit another drive that I think is perfect, and I end up in the right trees, which I just could not make sense of. So 12 and 13 are 2 back-to-back par 5s, really not the toughest holes you're ever going to play. You got to do some damage on those holes, and over the 2 days I played those holes 2 over. And the bogey on 12 really, that was the first time where I was like, oh shit, I might miss the cut. So ended up making a great par out of the trees on 14, but pars out of the trees were not what I need right now. I need birdies. 15's a tough hole to birdie, though I gave it a reasonably good chance, all things considered. 16's a tough par 5. I got the hard part out of the way, where I finally hit my cut off the tee on that hole, unlike the day before. And at that point, I got 3 holes to play. I'm 3 over par, and I figure even gives me a chance, but it might still not be enough. So under the circumstances, trying to cut 3-wood around the corner, I don't regret that decision at all. It's a shot that I'd hit 3 times during my preparation for the tournament. I pulled it off every time. And then of course, today I hit the dreaded straight ball when I was trying to hit a big swooping cut. So, that was the moment where I knew my week was going to be cut short. I don't want to sound dramatic when I say this, but I really do feel like missing the cut at the Canada Cup for me is rock bottom for this year. It can't get much lower than that. The cut didn't end up being at even par. It's not like you have to go and shoot the lights out just to play the weekend. You just got to play some semblance of decent golf to get through and play all 4 rounds. And with the state of my game right now, I'm just not able to do that. So, rough week, but this is going to be the kickstart of some changes that are going to help me turn things around. For example, less than an hour after I had gotten off the course on Friday, I'd reached out to a swing coach to see if he was in town, to see if he had any time the following week. Now, I've mentioned my current coach a couple times throughout this summer. Great guy, we've done some good work together, but he's very new with working with me. It was really only like the middle of May that we started working together. We've only worked together a few times, and we've been a little hesitant to make adjustments to my swing mid-season, because at least at the beginning of the year it was working. So we figured, why change it? Let's not reinvent the wheel here. But it hasn't been working for a while, and I'm sick of it not working. And I'm not done with that coach, but I know the guy that I'm going to see, or the guy that I messaged, I know that he has helped a large number of players who have struggled with the technical issues that I'm struggling with. Luckily, he got back to me. I actually caught him right before he was leaving on vacation. He had a spot for me the following Monday. So I have seen him. It was a very eye-opening experience. That video is actually coming next week. I documented the lesson so that I can bring you guys on this part of the journey as well. So yeah, I mean, to make a long story short, very disappointed in my week at the Canada Cup, but thankful for it because I'm really happy with the direction things are going now. And I feel like if I'd kind of scraped it around and made the cut, that I might not have made any changes, which, you know, there's for sure going to be some short-term pain. And yes, it's not the ideal time in season to be doing it, but I'd prefer to get that process started immediately instead of waiting. And I really do think if I'd made the cut, that I would have just kind of like maybe had some kind of false sense of hope that things were actually kind of starting to get better, which, you know, I keep feeling like they are. And it's like, okay, great, I've taken a step forward, and then next time you see me, I've taken 2 steps back. So I'm done with that. Yeah, just looking for a little more consistency with my ball striking, a little less curvature on the ball. You know, I feel like I putted very well in Victoriaville. Just nothing went in, but I consistently hit my lines with my pace, first hole on Thursday aside. I've got a little bit of work to do to clean up the short game, make that a little bit tighter, but it's really the inconsistent ball striking that has been killing me. Anyways, all this being said, I want to give a big sincere thank you to the organizers of the Canada Cup. As always, it was a really class event. It really pained me that I wasn't able to be up there for the entire week. Big thank you to Carl, who hosted me at his place, actually hosted me and Matt, so thank you very much for that. That's very appreciated. Of course, to you guys for watching the video. Guys, if you're enjoying these videos, if you're enjoying the channel, this journey that I'm on, please do me a favor. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, like the video, leave a comment below. These are all things that are going to help push this video out to other like-minded individuals. The more people that YouTube pushes my stuff out to, the more the channel will grow. The more the channel grows, the easier it is for me to keep this content coming for you guys. On that note, that's a wrap for the Canada Cup video. Thanks as always for watching. Make sure you come back next week where I'm going to walk you through the changes I am making to my golf swing. I'll see you soon, guys. Cheers.